Hello, everybody. Welcome to Breaking the Silence, a podcast by Quest Pro Women Foundation. This is a Pan-African podcast dedicated to illuminating the pressing issue of sexual gender-based violence and amplifying the voices of sexual and gender-diverse individuals. My name is Samantha, your host, and together we'll explore the complex landscape of sexual gender-based violence across Africa, delve into the intersectionality of these experiences, and foster meaningful dialogue towards empowerment and change. Join us as we break the silence and champion the rights and dignity of all. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Silence, and today we look at silence and stigma and how culture and taboos perpetuate sexual gender-based violence in Africa. I'm honored to have people from East Africa and West Africa, so looking forward to a very rich conversation on culture. I'll let my guests introduce themselves. Tell us your name, and if you would have dinner with anybody in the world, who would you have dinner with? I'll go first. My name is Samantha, and if I was to have dinner with anybody in the world, I'd have dinner with Rihanna. Robin Fenty. And I'd ask her to give me a modeling gig. I'd ask her to give me a modeling gig with Fenty.
Hello, everyone. My name is Barbara from Uganda. And if I'm to have dinner with anyone, I'd love to have dinner with my mom one more time. You know? Unfortunately, it can't happen, but if only I could. Thank you.
Done very quick there.
Hi everyone, my name is Serena. If I were to have dinner with anyone, I'd probably choose a photographer named Tish Martha. She used like her power with a camera to document her community. So just that.
Hello everyone, my name is Ag HRD. For me, I think if I'm to have dinner with my mom, unfortunately, because I never had chance to know her, but that would be my dream. But even if I pray, it can't happen. But yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Susanna. If I should have dinner with someone, it will be Eve, the princess rapper. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Even when I'm asleep, it deep in my dreams, and I hear her voice, I wake up to dance to her music.
I was going to remind me of an EVE song because
Yo, shake your tambolingo, get low, the pick up. I just love her. Thank you. The drag queen.
Jambo loves. My name is Apondi from Kenya, and if I would have dinner with someone in the world, it will be Chimamanda. And the main reason I will do that is I admire her writing. It's so rich, and I just can't explain how I feel about her writing. And I will also ask her what was going through her mind when she wrote the thing around her neck. It's really a powerful book. Yeah.
in Uganda we call what is happening Kasavu Kanyama. Well, there's a group of very serious people. People are deep. Chimamanda, my mom, and there's me and Sue.
Who want to go for the rappers?
Anywho, I'm very worried about what we're going to talk about because the panel is relatively young. So, but don't lie to us if you don't know the culture. Then if we do know, it will be amazing because then we know that, culture it doesn't get wiped out. It's something that we always know and remember, and it's passed down, right? Or at least show that you're reading. So there's also that part. Anywho, so Sue didn't mention, but Sue is from Ghana, which is in West Africa. And yeah, so I guess I would start with the people that we don't know, I'm curious about what happens. Guys, no, you all were breathing into this microphone and you're putting up on. What's going on? Bobby!
Sabi, that's not good.
Anywho, tell us a bit about your culture, Pondi. What's that? What culture is it anyway? And just tell us things, like 3 things that you find that really confuse you the most about your culture.
Okay. I prefer being called a Bondi because my real names are Sumaya Musa. And whenever I walk into a place, like, they expect to see someone in a buibui, someone who is very girly because of the name Sumaya. So I come from Kilifi, Kenya, coastal Kenya, where most of the community is Islam. Not all, but most of the community is Islam, and the culture is really like conservative. And what amuses me the most, or rather what surprises me the most about the culture is people are really conservative. If anything happens, especially the SGBV, in there's any case of the SGBV, and maybe it's within the family, they will tend to be like, no, don't tell people, it's shameful, no one should know. Then they'll say, wacha tui solve kinyumbani. It happens a lot. Like, let's solve it as a family. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so the conversation has started, so I can just be drastic about it. I lost a friend in 2021, and the family was saying the man should pay 6 cows and we leave him to go. So in that spirit, Barbara, please go next since you were there.
No, it's a culture in northern Uganda that when you murder someone, you have to compensate, right? You compensate the family for the loss. So you give 6 cows. So in the olden days before the law, when you compensate and give those 6 cows, then you've already paid for your sins, right? Yeah, it's either that or you kill someone. Let me say, if you kill someone from my family and you don't compensate, you also have to die. Yeah, so the cow thing is compensation, and also there is a cultural practice that they do. It's one would say it's called matopot, right? But that matopot thing is a way of reconciling both the families after that incident. So you come together, apologize, and do a few practices, you know. The food is cooked with some blood.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and then it removes that particular the curse.
It cleans.
Yeah, it cleanses you, and then all families go when they're happy. You know, there is no beef. The cows have been paid, and that has been done. You go on with your life.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait.
Wow.
In Ghana, we also have certain cultural taboos that also silence around SGBV. Taboos like stigma around rape and sexual assault, normalizing of domestic violence, and also shame and blame attached to victims. Limited discussion on sexual health and sexual rights. At my age, even if I'm watching a movie with my mom and some people are kissing, she's embarrassed to see me watch, like to be in the same space with me watching 2 adults kissing whilst I have a child. Yes. She's still embarrassed about it. Or when we see animals mating on TV, she feels I don't have to watch because I'm just a child. She still sees me as such. And also, the shame on victims. You have been through a traumatic situation of being raped by someone. If you open your mouth, or if you try to fight back or talk or expose whoever raped you, everybody will look at you in a kind of way as if you have rather committed the sin. And even when it's taken to police station, if you don't have money to push your case forward, nobody will fight for you.
Yeah, I actually do agree with Sue because...
I agree because you're from Ghana?
No, because it's almost the same context, even in Uganda, because cases of sexual gender-based violence are not prioritized. right? Even when you go and report at police, right? The police is not even going to push unless you yourself is trying to push it further. And remember, you're already a victim. So there's already stigma. Probably you're feeling even ashamed already for what has happened to you. Because sometimes people think that, oh, you're a lady, so you were wearing that mini skirt, right? Why did you wear it?
Yeah.
You deserve what you got. Or you also wanted. Probably they didn't give you money. That's why you're coming here. Yeah. So, yeah.
Also, our culture is built around women are submissive, very quiet, so domestic violence become normal. When your partner is abusing you, people say that, oh, just forgive him or her. Just continue with the relationship, overlooking the pains and the damage causing to you, the victim. This is also another factor.
So we had what it's like in Barbara's culture. Aggie or Serena, what it's like in your culture. And not just GBV, but just 3 things that are weird, that stand out for you in your culture.
Okay. For me, one of the things that I find extremely odd about my culture is just the idea that women are just a part of your property. That even when you're raising girls, I'm a Muhima by tribe. Even when you're being raised, it's how people are constantly wanting like girls to be hardworking and stuff like that. It's funny because for us that's not the aim. Like you're supposed to grow up knowing that you're supposed to be soft and just like exist for when you're ripe to get married. And even when you're ripe to get married, it's like a bit, maybe like you could say there's classist undertones, but just in general, gender, it's you're like raised and born in aspiration of your husband. That you still find even people in this day and age, even if it's said as a joke of like, oh, when somebody has a daughter, like, oh, I've booked that one for my son. And it's like it's a normal thing to happen. Like, I have a 5-year-old, you've given birth to a baby girl, me, I've booked that one for my son. But what human being do you book? And how does that work even? Like, how is it making sense? The other thing I find strange is that like there's a way culture positions women to be, you know how they say you have a victim mentality, but it's constantly your fault. Like whatever happens, you're just constantly at fault. That there's beliefs. Anyway, long ago, because I don't think that happens now. But because of privilege, it's easy for you to be out of touch with things like that. But there's people that still, like among the Bahima, that if you go to the well and there's a girl there, you're supposed to like grab her. If she doesn't manage to run away, now you've taken your wife. Like just like that. Like you went to the well to fetch water. Some guy is there waiting for you. Nothing. You don't have any say in this. For him, he'll take his wife. When people are like victims of, let me say, rape or defilement, the best punishment, they feel like the best they can do for you is because now you're worthless. Let's marry her off to this guy. But that is your perpetrator. And now suddenly you've been forced to have to settle into marriage with this person. So I find that's just not even a bit, that's extremely peculiar. Like it's things that don't make sense.
I'm not very against arranged marriages because the ones we're arranging for ourselves are not arranging. So, like, maybe they should. Yes, Aki, tell us about your culture.
Mostly that we, the Banyankuris, we have this culture of our family. It's big, we cannot shame it. So they guide mostly the family name more than the person who has been harassed. So most cases, when a girl from Banyankole or Western culture, or they normally hide so that they will solve it in their traditional way, whereby they will call the person who has raped you and that person will pay little money, but they don't see you as a person who has been harassed because they don't want you to shame the family name and legacy. And also religious norms, whereby some, I've seen mostly in Western Uganda, everyone believes that he's so religious. That like you are the leader in the church, and so you cannot just assume your church leader, like if they'll use that leadership, church leadership thing to cover up. They will go, no, we are big in this church. How will the society see you that you want to arrest this person? You've been raped or you've been harassed. So it has made girls in our community to be silenced because of that. Yeah, but on my side, I think we need science should be stopped. We need to teach more about this SGBV because it's eating most our girls in Western Uganda.
Everything that you people have said is true. I mean, I don't know your culture, so I'm trusting you to be the authority on this. But it's negative. Huh? Are there no aspects of culture that actually protect women, especially from gender-based violence? And anyone can go.
I think if I want to give you percent on 10 families, I think it's like 2 or 1. And those who don't believe in religious norms and those who are not too religious, they think that if a woman is being harassed, this person should be punished. The person who has this girl. So for me, and even it starts to even look on. You go to the police. Let's talk about when you go to the police. As my colleagues have said, that you cannot. They will first ask, you are a daughter to someone. This because I know mostly those people, the families, they are known. And like, how comes then the person, the leader, the police officer, hey, let me call your father, let me call your mom, and then you see that there is a shame. Your family is already like, you see what you have done. Yeah, now everyone is going to know what's happened to you. Our family is going to die. So, for me, I don't think, and that's why we are facing a lot of these things. Not only in my culture, I think in the Uganda, and I think when I look, not only in Uganda, in the whole country as Uganda. So on 10%, it's like 2% people who are fighting this.
So if I'm to hear you, it's not culture. It varies from family to family.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a different perspective? Are there systems in our cultures that actually protect women?
I think the issue with this is that there are systems. They are put in place to protect women. But it becomes an entirely different thing if these systems are actually protecting the women. Because one might argue that the reason why women are like very underexposed in regards to culture is because that's what's meant to protect them. But also what message does that send? That for you to be protected, it's still victim blaming. That you as a woman, you're not supposed to keep yourself away from men. Culture says you're not supposed to be out at this time. That's why. So those are systems that they have in place. They are not actually valid systems that you can hold on to, that this is something that's going to happen. Someone can even say that the system of caning rapists is meant to protect women. But how plausible is that? Then also another thing that stood out when she said that when you go to the police and say, let me call your father, it's a thing about that women and their safety is at most guaranteed by their proximity to a man.
Yeah.
That because this person has a father, now that's the person to call. Yeah. But my father was not there. And the fact, because all that proximity to a man thing happens, because it's women that carry shame. When something goes wrong with you, if they're looking for someone to reprimand, it's your mother. If they're saying, the reason why this child is like this is because the mom didn't raise her well. If now it's an issue that needs authority, let us call the father.
I just wanted to add and say that in my culture, when a woman has an abusive husband, they normally first try and cancel them. But if they fail, and if the man is still continuing to do that, we normally have clan meetings. And from these clan meetings is when they invite the clan leaders, because we have different sections. There's the leader of the youth, the old people, and different sections, really. So they invite those people and other members of the clan to be there. And they talk to you and cane you. Those days, they would cane you over 100 strokes. But I like the fact that lately people are adopting to the law, right? In an event that the clan leaders have tried, the elders in the family have tried talking to you and you're not listening, they normally take you to police. Yeah? They take you to police and they let the law take its course. So we believe that when you go to police, that is when you're going to learn, probably from there. And when you come back, you're a changed person. Although sometimes when someone is an abuser, even if you take them where, really, they come back the same person and still do the same thing. Yeah.
Maybe just to add on that, I would also say in my culture, there is, let's say, your brother mostly, or your elder brother mostly, is the one who is expected to like protect you if you're a woman. In case you're abused, in case something happens to you, they're the ones who are expected to like step up. And apart from that, there is nyumba kumi. Nyumba kumi is let's say in a village, there's usually like probably in several households, there's like people who are assigned duties where something happens, cases are being reported to them. So they're the ones who like take the cases forward. And at times, nyumba kumi people really help, because you might find SGBV cases and they're reported to them and they act. But at times they can't be bribed and they tend not to act. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, in Ghana we have a traditional system with the akans. That's the matrilineal inheritance, whereby when your mother dies, you, the woman, will inherit from your mother's side. Yes, and the men also inherit from their uncles, stuff like that. And also, they always have a support system for women and protection. And the Gandangways have women's leadership roles and councils that address gender-based violence. Yeah, and the Islams use the teachings of the Quran, to shape the women. But it's not that strong, like protecting women per se.
I think from what everybody's saying, what I'm hearing is that culture is not evolving. Like the systems were okay then. For example, if there was no police and you killed somebody and you pay 6 cows, it sort of kind of did that thing, because hey, listen, how many people had 6 cows? So the thing is they're sentencing you to death. They're just putting it lightly. Or the thing around the nyumba kumis, I'm imagining a vigilante group with pangas and whatnot, and walking around the place. So when I hear you talk about culture, what I'm hearing is that it hasn't. I was speaking to somebody from Zambia, and she was telling me that the Kondilozi, the aunties, and they're the main authority. That's what we would call Senga here. And so in case anything happened to you, they're the ones that are responsible for like reprimanding the person. So how can culture evolve and remain culture to protect? How can it still evolve? How can culture, because we do need culture, we need belonging. But I guess my question would be, how can culture evolve and still remain? And how can we not, so that we don't have kids years from now learning how to decolonize what we did, because we made culture very woke. I guess I don't know if my question makes sense. Because again, culture has authority. If we read the news, one of the things that people keep saying, homosexuality is against African culture. And yet when you read African culture, you have terms like mudahodaho in Langi that are meant to mean two-spirited people, which would interpret to be transgender persons. There's the Masai, is it the white, the boy, the girl husbands? Yeah. So how do we use culture, because it's one of the tools that the anti-rights movement is actually using. So how do we now also turn culture into something that we can also use?
I think on that, maybe one of the ways we can use culture is by really understanding it and understanding our history. Because if we understand our history from like our communities and our cultures truly, then we'll understand where we are heading. For example, in Kenya, there is in the Kamba people, there is this culture that a woman is a woman can marry, but let's say a barren woman can marry to like have kids for the husband. If you keenly interpret it, it's close to lesbianism. If people could know about this, they could probably interpret things differently, rather than saying lesbianism, gayism is not really African. If you look at the Kikuyu culture, when people are being circumcised, there is a lot of gayism goes on, and no one wants to talk about it, and it's really cultural. If we understand our history, it will be easy now to like make people understand the community more too. Yeah.
Spill that tea. What gazing happens during circumcision? I don't know.
Okay, usually when people are circumcised, though some say it's sodomy, though some say it is usually voluntarily. They're usually sexual acts between the men who are like the ones who have been circumcised and the ones who already have been circumcised, because they usually after circumcision, people are taken to, the boys are taken to like somewhere to get trained on manhood and everything. So that's when some are sodomized and some voluntarily engage in sexual acts. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to add and say that culture in different societies. I'll give an example of my area. Women. Okay, in some cultures, women are not considered, most especially during meetings, right? But I now know that there's the aspect of money these days. And if someone has money, whether they're a woman or a man, and there is a meeting and they speak, they will listen, right? Yeah. So last year in January, I managed to be part of our clan meeting, and I was actually selected to be the leader of the girls, the youth girls. So all the issues that are happening with the girls, I get to know, and we figure out ways on how to support them and all like that. So I think that if we are given spaces like that, yeah, it is an opportunity for us to preach equality, to preach respectful, meaning relationships. And also, because the husbands or the men, because most of the perpetrators of SGBV are men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have those people in the house. So I think we could use those spaces to dialogue with members and see how to push back and find ways forward. Yeah.
I also feel like it's important to add that sometimes culture just needs intergenerational conversations. I know it sounds like extremely like cliche, but it's important for like people in like these systems, or like adults and just generally the youth as well, to understand that the reason why culture existed then was because it suited the context of the times. That there's a need for it to evolve to now serve the needs of the time that's there. That while people those days had no information about that, there was now there's access to that information. You know that there's a reason why this is like this, there's a reason why this is like this. And while it's a good idea what Barbara was talking about, I just feel like it's further. I like to discuss a lot about the intersectionality of issues. That now for a woman to be able to be granted space at the table, it's equal to her having to buy that space. That meanwhile men are just walking into these spaces drunk and whatever, because like there's that uncle in the village who's just drunk there, like constantly at events and stuff like that. But because he's a man, and you have to like ensure that you're working twice as hard to get half of what that drunkard has in regards to like space. So I think it's just like we just need to have like a lot more intergenerational conversation to understand context and how we can shape culture to fit that context.
Okay. For me, I think we need to go back to our roots. We have, most even in the village right now, most of them are educated, and so we need to go back and we talk to the leaders. Let's talk. We have kings here. We have cultural leaders. let us talk to them. We have a conversation with them, so that, because these are people who have a very big following number, and people listen to them. So the leaders, the king, the clan chiefs, and other big clan, those people who they follow, it's high time, because some of them they're illiterate, they don't know what is even SGBV, what is it. So we need to go down to our roots, and we have a serious discussion about SGBV. Yeah.
In Ghana, back in the days, there was this woman who led the men to defeat an enemy. Santwa. She was a very, how do I say, brave woman whose name has been in our culture, our history and culture books that we learn about in schools. I think we need to dig deep into her characteristics, because in our modern days, most of the women in our society display such values, and yet they get little recognition for their braveness, their contribution to the society. These are some of the qualities I think we need to we need to emphasize more concerning women and girls, to make them more brave, and also acknowledge a lot of women. Because in Ghana, even to instill a chief, grandmothers have most say. The grandmothers, the old women, they are those who knows the history, and when they talk, it makes the final decisions. Yes. So I think, but yet men also, it's like, though they are there, but they don't get recognition like they should. Yes. So sometimes, and mostly, it's really, put pressure, or it belittle we, the women and girls, like it should, which is very bad, I must say.
That's the thing about women having to constantly.
Right, men have to first go.
Just be there.
Why should the man have to first die then for you?
I believe,
But men dying is something we can actually work on.
Yeah, as quick as possible.
Usually, one thing I've noticed
Keep a few for reproduction.
one thing I've noticed among Ghanaians is when the man dies first, the woman is able to hold the family together.
The man marries another woman.
Exactly, and he breaks the family, and he breaks the family system, and the children, excuse me to say, the children perish. Exactly.
Let me tell you, that's still children perishing. It's a genuine thing that happens, like
Because
in so many, even us.
He focused
Like
on
it's a
himself.
cultural thing. It's
Yes.
automatic. Like
But
So when you fall sick, like chronic illness, you just know your husband is there with a wife in waiting. Once you die, 1 year won't pass. Let me tell you. They've had,
By the way, you're
like
right.
there's always a wife in waiting,
Some-
because it's like one of those things like I can't live on my own.
Even when you are sick.
No, because brother men are very dependent human beings. When they are younger, they depend on their mothers. When they grow up now, they're depending on their wives. These are men whose wives will go on holiday and the man can't even cook rice.
Yeah, they take what they
By the way, Samantha, when you say that, do you know, let's say, if a woman dies first, a man cannot last for 5 years.
5.
But even me, if I'm the woman whose man has died first, I need to go through that grieving period with somebody.
No, I don't know. By that, I've sensed that.
With
Most
me.
of,
What
no,
do you mean?
I'm not saying on you. I'm
becomes
like, yeah,
at the,
men
drug-
die quickly after when a woman dies.
It's true.
That's the truth.
The ones who don't
He can't hold
You're
himself.
not dying quick enough.
Those who don't want to remarry, like, I want to remarry, yes.
Yeah.
They normally die quickly.
It's true. It's either he becomes drug abuser, he abuse alcohol.
That is
and
called
he becomes-
grief, you
yes,
people. But
yes.
people cannot grieve.
But women are able to hold themselves even when the man is not around.
But also, you're not on our panel. And
It's fine.
anywho, let's do yes.
My dad remarried after 10 years.
Oh.
No, he's still alive.
Is he happy with his new bed?
Wow. But that's like, let's say,
But 10 years is a long time.
Yeah. And one thing,
Women don't know how to be independent.
yeah, women are able to endure pains, menstrual cycle, walking in heels.
Which is not a good thing,
The
you guys.
pain
Please, we should remember that. That
The
when
pain
you are
for
in
9
pain, we
months,
should not
can a
glorify
man
But
suffering.
do you know that makes us powerful? It's
Yes,
something
we are-
you
we
know.
are just strong.
You mean cramps I'm rehearsing for some Olympic?
Guys,
no, I don't.
we're not
play.
supposed to be surviving. We're supposed to be
Thank
thriving.
you. Like, what's this life of suffering, resilience?
Of now, cramps. You're complaining about cramps.
Resilience.
Stuff like 10 minutes ago.
You know, is this still recorded? Still recorded. Is it still recorded?
Anyway, parting shots. So parting shots are like, please don't send greetings to your people in the village or whatever. Like, yeah. Anyway, so parting shots.
Oh, okay. For me, the only message I have for women is that don't die. Okay, don't die in silence. Just know if you are facing SGBV, please speak up. You know, speak up anything. There are people who are there outside who will listen to you and who will be there to help you.
Thank you. Parting shots.
My parting shot will be queerness is African. Queerness is very African. It's not a westernized thing. Queerness was here with us before colonialism. It will be here with us forever. So queerness is African. Yeah.
So my parting shots are, there is power. There is a lot of power in sharing. And for victims of SGBV who are out there and you know that it's you know you're affected and you are a survivor, please reach out. Because if you die in silence, no one is going to be able to help you. There is a lot of power in speaking. Thank you.
For me, I just want to continue to encourage the media. As a media person, I feel like it's very important to note how much power campaigns have. The hashtag #MeToo, just simple online campaigns, and the building block that they put onto the building of ending or reducing SGBV. It's very important. Please, people, when you see such campaigns, also please participate, repost. Awareness is very important. It might look like something, it's not a big deal, but just the fact that somebody else knows that this is happening or just feels believed and stuff like that, it makes all the difference.
Okay. I once saw a video of the most powerful and rich woman in Qatar, Moza also. Yeah. I don't know why this woman is not being taught as a history. It's not in our history books or stuff like that to motivate the young girls to work hard, be well educated, and also equip themselves with things that will make them more powerful, more independent, and more beautiful and more attractive as women. Yeah, these are people that deserve the recognition. I just heard of her once. Yeah, so I think we need more education and awareness to, change that perception that our generation has, so that the new generation will be more empowered, more womanly, more powerful, and they can be more of everything that makes us women.
I think for me, my parting shot would be, I believe that Africa was a matriarchy. I don't know, in my mind, Africa was a matriarchy at some point.
Yeah.
And I just believe, and I feel like things were going really, really well. Then we got kings, then they sold us as slaves, and it was the whole thing. So I believe that if we just remember our African culture, but also to remember that, to understand, like Serena said, that context keeps changing. And so to change with context, not to dilute culture, but to say, this is what was working then, and this is what is happening now. These are the challenges. Because the thing I don't understand is that how are women not being raped in ancient Mpororo, where we used to walk naked, and now people, the first thing they ask you is, what are you wearing? There's a point I was wearing nothing and no one was raping me. So even also to understand when men evolved into scavengers and all these other things. So yeah, but also culture to also Apondi said, know your culture. People use the fact that we ignorant against us. They say one thing and then you jump with it. Homosexuality is an African. Oh my God, yes, that and so you move with that, and then you do not want to make the research on your own because the information is there. Look at your history. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. It's been an amazing
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Breaking the Silence. We hope today's conversation has inspired you to take action and advocate for the rights and safety of sexual and gender diverse individuals across Africa. Remember, change begins with awareness, empathy, and collective effort. Be sure to subscribe and tune in for our next episode, where we'll continue to explore the many facets of SGBV and work together towards a future free from violence and discrimination. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep breaking the silence.